Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Lewis, or on the channel I'm denoted as Fresky, and I am a few things. I am a college student, I am an eldest brother of 6, I'm a son, I'm a boyfriend, I'm a student, I'm a boxer, if I haven't mentioned that already. But long story short, I am a few things. I'm 21 years old, and I've embarked on this self-improvement journey for the past 3 years. And I'm getting to this point where I have accumulated a lot of knowledge, and I really want to share it to the next generation because I've made so many mistakes on this journey, especially in the beginning, and I wanted to kind of like touch up on some of those and help educate the next generation of self-improvement goers. So to kind of preface my journey, I essentially started self-improvement towards the end-ish of quarantine. I spent the whole beginning of quarantine rotting away playing Rainbow Six Siege. The worst part is I never hit plat. Not once did I hit platinum in that game. During quarantine, I must have sunk at least 300 hours in Rainbow Six Siege, and just to be hard stuck gold. Anyways, long story short, I wasn't increasing my fitness, I wasn't increasing my intellect, my applicable intellect, my social skills, none of that. I was just sinking so many hours into that video game, as opposed to sinking some hours. You don't have to sink all your hours into self-improvement, but I didn't even sink any hours into like growing any of these skills that would become high leverage skills in the long term. So this video is designated towards young men and women who are like at that beginning part of their journey, and you guys just have questions like, how do I start? Where to go? So, just to reiterate what I said, for self-improvement, I didn't have, and I still don't have a roadmap. If your immediate environment does not show you the path towards the life that you want, then you're going to have to embark on this journey with limited, immediate guidance. So, as much as I hate to say this, sometimes your mom doesn't have the answer when it comes to questions such as building a YouTube brand. Your mom doesn't have a YouTube brand. So you need to leverage individuals who do have these things that you desire and see how you can interact with them and ask them those meaningful questions. So, we get caught up in asking our family members or our friends these questions when they don't have the life that we want and like to achieve ourselves. So we need to find individuals that do have insight on that and then leverage them. It's not to say, oh, don't talk to your family, don't lean on them for guidance, but also understand that they do not have what you may desire, whatever it may be. If you want to get into a career trajectory similar to your father, by all means leverage him. But if you want to do something different, you need to refer to someone different. Environment plays a huge role on what we believe that we can achieve. So first, discipline is important, but it is not the end all be all. In my self-improvement journey, I was chubby, man. I was like 200 pounds and 5'6". Like I had milkers. It was not pretty. So I wanted to be skinny, right? That was my form of bodily success. In order to achieve this, I simply ate in an extreme caloric deficit, one that I would even consider an eating disorder. I would eat like 12 to 1500 calories a day, which, I got skinny, but I also had brain fog, I made shitty decisions, like, there was a million reasons why that was the wrong way. And, I thought that the only pathway to success was through discipline. However, I now understand that there are many other virtues that one must develop alongside discipline. Knowledge and the ability to communicate it. This is huge. Humility, empathy, patience, temperance, and all things in that manner. I wish I had grown these skills as well as discipline in conjunction. It took me much longer to grow everything but discipline. I grew discipline first because I hated my body that much. So it wasn't particularly hard for me to be disciplined, but I wish I had taken the energy to kind of pour into those other virtues as well, such as increasing my general knowledge, not just knowledge about business, branding, self-improvement, but just knowledge about other things, like knowing about different cultures, maybe trying to learn a new language. I invest a lot of time into the arts, like knowledge on how to play the piano, just general things that kind of increase your know-how, that make you a more multifaceted individual. Because when it comes to networking and communicating and meeting new people, that are in rooms that you want to also exist in, it really does help to be a more multifaceted individual. So another thing that I would say is do a combat sport. Don't ask any questions. Don't consider the price. Don't consider injury, this, that, whatever. Just do the combat sport. You don't have to be a pro fighter. You don't have to devote your whole life to it. But I strongly believe that everybody on this planet should at least try to train it for at least a month, to overcome the challenges, to learn the lessons. You know, it's one thing to lift weights, and that's one type of discipline, but to couple the discipline of maintaining your body in conjunction with combating fear, I feel like you just can't ignore that. There are so many positive benefits towards conquering your fear on a weekly basis. It really gives you thicker skin, and it really shows you what you can accomplish. If you can jump in the ring and spar somebody who terrifies you, logically speaking, you can do other things that should terrify you, such as maybe talking to a girl you might be interested, or a man if you're a woman watching this, such as applying for that job, such as going for that interview. The most primal feeling that we have is fear, and if you can become comfortable with that primal fear, then logically speaking, you can also become comfortable with like other things that induce fear that's lesser intensity than a sparring session. So like a job interview, you know, sparring can be terrifying, but if you can minimize the fear that you feel there, then you'd be that much more confident in a job interview, in a situation where you want to meet a new romantic partner, etc., etc. I would also teach myself, if I were to start again, to embrace moderation. Try not to operate in extremes, but also follow your passion. So if you're extremely passionate about like making YouTube videos, music, go ahead. Marcus Aurelius says that we should wear ourselves thin by doing what we love. However, what I don't mean is what I did, for example, with the eating disorder thing. Be moderate. There's no need to eat 1,000 calories. Just don't eat 15 donuts. You know what I mean? It's okay to have a snack, but then ask yourself, you know, like I've had a donut every single day for the last week and a half. Maybe this time I'll pick up an apple. This actually happened to me yesterday. You know, I've been indulging in a few savory snacks, whatever, and yesterday I chose an orange instead of the brownie I have in my fridge. It's not like I'm being such a narc about sweets. It's just like, you know what, I've been making this choice enough, let me now make this choice. It's all about moderation. It's not about complete disowning anything sweet, disowning anything unproductive. There are still moments where I do relaxing things like play video games. Hell, I might even play a game of Valorant after I edit this video for you guys. But the point being, it's important that we are moderate in what we do. It's not to say play video games for 16 hours a day. It's like, you know, do your tasks and then, yeah, play that hour of video games. Yeah, work hard, train hard, and you know what, have that cookie. But, you know, don't have the whole pack of cookies, or don't do it every day, or don't make a bad habit out of it. There's an extreme difference, and it's important to know the difference. Because, I mean, you just become kind of a freak if you can never eat, like, pasta with no protein. Because that's not in your macros. It's like, dude, we have one life. Yes, improve yourself. Yes, do it, by all means. But don't be such a stickler, because you don't gain extra brownie points for being such a stickler about everything. Also, last point I want to make about this. Listen closely to your body and your mind for indicators that you need a break. I was a chronic anti-breaker. To some extent, I still am. My mind goes crazy when there's nothing to do. And, like, I hate taking rest days, etc., etc. Super stereotypical, I know. But it's really important that we listen to our body. If our body's telling us, take this rest day, you know, prioritize relaxation and recovery, etc., etc. It's important that we listen to our body and do what we need to do. So, one other caveat, emotional intelligence, right? You should know how you are feeling yourself, as in me, every single moment, and be able to communicate your feelings. If somebody asks you how are you feeling, you should be able to say it. Like, for example, ask how I'm feeling. How am I feeling? I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little tired today. I feel a bit spacey, and then I can go and kind of like come up with theories as to why I feel like that. You need to have that level of self-awareness with yourself. And then as you are growing that, also have some sort of awareness of other people. You know, like, oh, somebody is treating you very improperly today, but then be able to take a step back and analyze maybe why they're doing it. Take a second, reflect, look at the status of them. Maybe they have something that they're projecting on you. That way, like, you can logically allow yourself to not take shit so personally. Like, growing up, I took a lot of shit personally, and there are moments where I could have benefited from really taking a step back and looking at the person who was projecting at me and being like, okay, like, it hurts that they're treating me this way, but logically speaking, why wouldn't they? They have no room for kindness in their heart. So, keep growing your relationship with yourself. Also, read books and watch meaningful content on social interactions. I have some on my channel, and I'll continue to make more and continue to be observant of both yourself and others. You should know yourself. You should always be aligned with yourself. You should always be able to vibe check yourself. If you're feeling off, be able to be like, all right, I need to figure something out. Several times a week. I wish it wasn't the case, but there are several times where me personally, I have to vibe check myself because for some reason I'm just off. My frequency is just off, my wavelength is just off, and I need to realign myself to a higher frequency. Now, I'll talk more about how to do that in later videos. Now I'm just going to keep it to these 3 concepts. So these are the 3 things I would do if I had to start again, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it meaningful, and I will continue to produce more and share more knowledge because that's what I'm passionate about. Alright everybody, have a great day.